like to use it under here. Does that make sense? Nope.
Or you can. Like, some people just use their fingers. Some people use those little sponge things. You do whatever you need to do to make your makeup work.
Oh no, it's shedding. It's about Walmart at the beginning of my makeup journey, and I'm really excited I did because it's one of my favorite brushes.
I'm not going to be creating any super crazy looks while I'm driving across country in a van with my husband.
What's up, beauties, and welcome to today's video. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if it's your first time, welcome. My name is Manders. This is my channel. We talk about a lot of makeup. We usually do some tutorials. Sometimes I drop things, which is super exciting, and sometimes we do unboxings. But today we're doing something super different, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So if you've been here before, you do know that I have been talking a lot about using my stash. No, I'm on a low buy this year. I don't want to buy anything new, but what I do want to use is my stuff. Now, part of my stuff is I have a million makeup brushes, like it's what feels like a million. It's not really that many, but I know we've talked about, I've kind of briefly hinted on the fact that Patrick and myself we really want to build a Sprinter van to drive across Canada and all through the United States. And that's something we really want to do. And we will have a channel dedicated to that. But part of the process for getting there is I need to really take stock of what I have and learn how to use what I have in the most minimalistic way possible. So in doing that, I decided this might be a really fun video series to kind of do, like, what would I do if I had to take what I have and put it in a really small space, like a van. So the first thing we're doing to start there is if I could only keep 10 eyeshadow brushes. Now, I have been planning this. It's been taking me literally like a couple weeks where I'm like, okay, which ones do I want to keep? Which ones do I want to rotate out? I have been going through my collection, like I said, for about the last week and trying to dwindle down to what are the 10 eyeshadow brushes I have in my collection and why I will be keeping them for this road trip. So they're right here and I'm going to tell you about each one of them. So if you are interested in this, make sure you do give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you're not already and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on all the fun that will be coming here. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into it because I don't want to talk about brushes forever. So the first brush I chose was my Morphe. This is the E17. This I actually got in one of my Live Glam subscriptions, which is really the only time I ever received Morphe brushes, which I did like because they are pretty good quality. So this is just a small tapered blending brush. I was very torn on this one, but I do like it. It gets in there really nicely. So for my eye shape, this brush is a win. It's an everyday brush. Now, I'm not going to be creating any super crazy looks while I'm driving across country in a van with my husband, but I will still be doing my makeup. I will still be doing my get ready with me type videos. So that's sort of why I'm utilizing these brushes, especially because they're going to be more, I guess, sort of along the lines of what you would typically see from me. So this is a great brush. There are other brushes that are from other brands that have similar shapes. This one's just a personal favorite of mine. I would say that this is a really good eye brush. Next up, this is my favorite brush out of my whole collection because it's like my oldest brush out of my collection. You can't even see like where it's from. This is by Still Spa Essentials. So that I do believe is a Canadian brand that is only carried in Walmart. They might be carried in Walmart in the States. I don't know for sure. But this is just a fluffy crease brush. I love it. Super easy to get in there. I can use it for multiple colors, so I can get away with just using one brush usually for a makeup look, especially when I'm just going to work, not doing anything fancy. So this one's perfect. You can tap on the outer corner, you can blend, you can tap into the crease, all that fun stuff. I do really love this brush. It doesn't even say what type of, it's just a crease brush, I do believe is what it's called. I picked this up at Walmart at the beginning of my makeup journey, and I'm really excited I did because it's one of my favorite brushes. Next up is another Morphe brush. This is my M441. This is just a blending brush, like a crease blending brush. It natural hairs. I love this brush more than I ever thought I would. It is coarse feeling. You do have to get used to using it. But when I blend out my eyeshadow using this, it just blends everything seamlessly and I never have any issues. So this is definitely staying in my top 10 makeup brushes. eyeshadow brushes, because there will be a different video for face brushes, because you can't just use eyeshadow brushes. Or you can. Like, some people just use their fingers. Some people use those little sponge things. You do whatever you need to do to make your makeup work. I always say that. Like, makeup brushes make it easier for me. But if somebody can, like, I know people that don't use makeup brushes and their makeup looks fantastic. So just throwing that out there. Next up is a Moda brush. This is my smudger brush. I just really like this. It's really nice for getting in here and just sort of smudging everything together. I like to use it under here. Does that make sense? No. I like to smudge out the lower lash line using this brush, so I'm definitely keeping it in this collection. Moda brushes are like seriously some of my favorite brushes. You will see there's some repeat brands, but not repeat brushes, if that makes sense. So this is a great brush. I received this in a boxy charm. It came in a pack of 5. Love it, love it, love it. Introduced me to this. It's seriously one of the best brush brands that I've come across recently. So just letting you guys know that. Next up, we do have a Luxie brush. This came to me in a boxy charm as well. This is a precision crease brush. I like this brush because it's super, super tiny. You can get a really nice precision cut crease with this one. It's a concealer brush, so you can also do spot treatments, but I do really like this brush. Now I have another crease brush as well that I do want to talk about. This is an AOA Studio one. This came from Shop Missy. So the difference is here, this one's a little bit bigger, but it still works really well, and this one was $1. That's what I love about my Shop Missy brushes. They are very affordable. Cost me $1 for this. I think I bought a pack of 10, so it was like $10, and it worked out really well. I do enjoy this brush. I like this bamboo set, but this one is definitely my favorite out of all of the ones I have. All right, so now we're gonna move on to another Moda Pro brush. This is the 465 Precision Angle. I really like this brush. Sorry, they're all dirty too, because I'm gonna wash them. This, like, honestly, I can get in there and I can do almost an entire eye look with this one brush. You just have to be careful. That's what I like about this brush. It's very versatile. I don't find that I really need a lot more when I have this particular brush. I do like flat angle brushes more than I ever thought I was going to. This one kind of was the first, like, oh, that's how much I love this one. I have other ones in my collection that I like as well, but not as much, if that makes sense. So going in there. Another Moda brush. This is my Moda Royal Pro. This is just a shader brush. I have this brush. Oh no, it's shedding. I have this brush in black as well because it did come from the Moda Pro set, but I wanted to add some color into my collection. Does anybody else do that? Like, if you just look at like plain black makeup brushes, like, no, I need a little bit of bling in there, man. A little bit of purple and blue makes me really happy. So I do enjoy that brush. It's very good for shading. It's also good for laying down eyeshadow. That's what I like to use it for, like a shimmer. So just saying. I also have my 420 detail brush from Moda Pro. I love this one. It's really nice. You can smoke out the lower lash line. You can add a little bit of dimension to your outer corner as well. I really enjoy this one. So keeping it in my 10, if I could only keep 10 eyeshadow brushes, these are the ones I'd keep. This is the last, but definitely not least. This is my Moda Pro crease brush. This is 430. It is nice. It is fluffy. Sorry, there's stuff on it. It just really buffs out. So when I want to go for a little bit more of a little bit more blending action, and I don't want to use one of these brushes, I really will go in hard with this one. Works really, really well. So if I had to stick with just 10 eyeshadow brushes, these are the ones I would use. Now, adding to that, it is almost the end of February now. For the month of March, my goal is to only use the eyeshadow brushes and the face brushes that I have chose. So that's 20 brushes. That's all I need. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, she's only keeping 20 brushes, like that seems like a lot. I just want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer, sort of as a little bit of perspective into how many makeup brushes I have. These are just some of my unused brushes. These are just like overflow. They're sitting here just to kind of use if I need these ones. But like, that's what I mean when I say I have so much stuff. Do I need more than 20 makeup brushes? No. Now there are some like that I might want to pull out every once in a while. Like I might want a really thin detailed brush, or I might want a really tiny brush to kind of draw on a liner or something. But for the most part, for everyday looks, these 10 are gonna get me where I need to go. So, and that is all. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I absolutely love doing these types of videos. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I absolutely love hanging out with you guys, and let me know in the comments below, do you like this type of video? So thank you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see you on my next one, which will be what face brushes will I keep. So if you're interested in that, make sure you keep an eye out, make sure that notification bell is right, and you are subscribed.